Hello friends, and welcome back to Banking Computer Awareness course. In today's video, we'll talk about networking, the different type of connections, and also we'll take a look at different type of cables that we use in our network connections. So starting off with what actually is a computer network. A computer network consists of a series of interconnected computers throughout the globe that form a mesh network that help you get access to a wide variety of information. So that is the very basic, plain and simple layman terminology to explain what a computer network actually is. Now, a network is a set of connected computers that are interconnected online through the internet. Computers on a network, so when a computer is on a network, it is also referred to as a node. So at a point of time, if there are 5 computers connected in the network, there are 5 nodes in the network. And networks also help in resource sharing. So if you have a machine and you are connected to a network, but you don't have ample space on your drive to store some information, if you have access to the other machine on the network, you can very well push the data onto that machine and it will be storing the data for you. So resource sharing is one of the prime reasons or purposes of networking. Now moving on, there are different type of network connections. The way in which your machine is connected to the other machine is known as a network connection. So what the terminology we use to define this connection is topology. So if you are on a local area network, what topology are you using to connect to different computers? Alright, and the most commonly used topology these days is ring topology, but among the others is the 6 topologies I mentioned here: star, bus, collapsed ring, VGA, DVI, HDMI, USB, IDE, SATA, Firewire and Ethernet. All of these are different types of connections that a network uses, or different type of topologies that a network might use. Now, I'll go through some of the very commonly used and important topologies, starting off with bus topology. Now, in a bus topology, each computer is connected to this main line. You see a single main line running, and all the computers that need to be on the network will be connected to this main line. Now through this main line, they'll share their resources and they'll be transferring data to each other. Now at any point of time, if this network, wired network, breaks from anywhere, let's say there is a break at this point, these 2 nodes will not be able to communicate to these 4 nodes. That is a very major disadvantage of bus topology. But at the same time, since all the computers are connected to the main line, the wires used, the actual infrastructure used in making this network is very, very less. Hence the network cost is very cheap. Now moving on to the next one, star topology. Now in star topology, as the name gives you a pictorial diagram, the center hub, the center system, connects through all the computers. So as you see, the center hub computer is connected to different computers. Now in this again, at any point of time, if any cable breaks, let's say this computer right here, connection to this center hub breaks, even then the rest of the network that is out there will function perfectly fine. So this only one computer will be left aside out of the network till the connection is repaired again, but the rest of the network remains intact and combined or connected through the network. So that is one of the advantages of star topology. But on the other hand, the disadvantage is that the infrastructure, the cable wire work needed for a star topology comes out to be greater than what it is needed in a bus topology. Now moving on to ring topology. In a ring topology, all the network computer connected to the network have to be connected to each other in the form of a ring. So if there are 4 nodes, the ring would look like this, a square or a quadrilateral ring. If there are 5 nodes, again add it at some point of time. You break the link from this to this, add one more computer here. Okay, so there will be no direct link in between two if one more computer comes here. So that is how a ring keeps on increasing and growing in size as more and more computers get added to the ring network. Now in the ring network, if let's say this particular computer needs to transfer data to this, it cannot transfer data directly. It will go via this whole ring till it finds the right computer where the data needs to be sent. So if there are multiple computers, let's say 10 to 15 computers, and computer number 1 has to send the data to computer number 7. So it will pass through the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, finally till it reaches the 7th. So the travel cost increases a lot when you are on a ring network, because it has to traverse through all these nodes in the middle. Now this was about ring topology. Let's discuss about VGA, DVI and HDMI. First off, remember the full forms very clearly of all these. Video graphics array, digital visual interface, high definition multimedia interface. So now these all also are part of ports, so they will come there also. We have VGA port, we have HDMI ports, so they will be coming up there also. But till then, VGA is computer to monitor connection. So you have your CPU, you have to connect it to the monitor, that is a VGA connection. Or all the HD TVs that you see also use the VGA. Then digital visual interface is the successor of VGA. So VGA works on digital, now DVI works on analog signals, and it also used in the digital displays of LCDs. Moving on to HDMI. Now HDMI sends both video and audio signals together, works on both audio digital and sends the digital signals. And if you have to classify HDMI, there are 4 types of HDMI classifications, that is type A, type B, type C and type D. So if you ever get a question like what are the 4 types, which one of the following is not a type of HDMI connection, and if there is a type E in it, you know that type E is not a HDMI connection. Moving on further to USB, Universal Serial Bus. So in the diagram, as you see here, this symbol right here represents a USB port. Now almost all the computer systems that we have these days have at least 1 or 2 if not more of these USB ports, because many of the machines and devices that you connect to your computer like pen drive, mouse, keyboard all have USB connectors. So you just connect those connectors to your laptop and your mouse is connected to the laptop. So it's used to connect keyboards, mouse, game controllers, printers, scanners, etc. Alright, that is about USB. This is one of the most commonly used connector and port out there these days. Now moving on to network cabling. As you saw, we have to set up network connection in different ways. But in each and every way, what we need is, now coming on to network cabling. As we saw, if you are on a network, you are connected to different computers through wires that are connected through different topologies. Now these wires or this cabling is also a very important part of an actual network connection setup. A cable is the medium through which information moves from one network to another. So at the software level, whatever is happening is there, but the actual transmission of data is literally happening through these cables. So these cables also form a very important part of your connections. Now the type of cable chosen for a network is related to the network topology, the size of the network, the protocols that have to be used. All these things define what kind of cables would be used in the network. So we'll take a look at a certain list of cables, starting off with UTP cable, that is unshielded twisted pair. So this is the most common form of twisted pair wiring. As you can see in the diagram, unshielded twisted pair is just copper wires wrapped around, while STP, that is shielded twisted pair, is shielded by some medium so that there is less interference in the data, or also that is done to make the data move faster. So the shield medium in shielded twisted pair is again decided based on your network requirements. Two insulated copper wires are just simply, as you can see in these diagrams, the black and white is just simply twisted around. So this twisted around set of pair of cables is called unshielded twisted pair. Moving on to the next, coaxial cable. So this you might have seen if you have a dish connection at your home. This cable looks exactly like this, that runs from the service provider to your television systems. So if you open it out, you see a central core of wire. Then there is an insulating medium, the white color medium, that insulates the central wire from the symmetrically surrounded braided foil that is out here. Now the data is transferred actually from the center wire itself. When this insulating dielectric white medium that is used right here is between this outer and inner to avoid interference and make data run faster. So coaxial cables are expensive than the normal shielded pair or unshielded twisted pair cables, but they are also faster than those. And finally, if we talk about fiber optic cables, these are again the most expensive out of all. They use light pulse for making the data travel. So the light pulse moves through the glasses that is inside, and that is how the data is transferred from one medium to another. Now the fiber optic cables is divided into two very common types, single mode and multi-mode. Multi-mode has larger diameter, and essentially the data transmission is faster in multi-mode compared to the single mode. So that was about the network connections, the topologies and the cables used, and we'll take a look at networks in more detail and in a different light in our next video. Thank you for watching, guys.